What's up everyone, welcome to the Surfside PPC YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be going over smart display campaigns in Google Ads. So they're a fairly new type of display campaign that you can create. So I'm going to go over some of the benefits and go through the step-by-step process of creating one of these campaigns. So you want to start in your Google Ads account. And in order to run a successful smart display campaign, you want to start by coming into Tools and Settings and making sure under Measurement you have conversion tracking set up. It's important to come in here and make sure you have at least one conversion action here that you're optimizing for. So my main conversion action for this account is outbound clicks. So if I'm running campaigns, that's what I want to drive, are outbound clicks. I want people to come to my website and click off to some of the affiliates that are on my website. So you want to make sure you're tracking for your conversion, and you want to make sure that it's included in conversions here. Otherwise, what you can do is create conversion action sets, which will allow you to optimize for multiple conversions at the same time. So that's where you want to start, is with conversion tracking. I'll put a video in the description where I went over conversion tracking in the past, and you can also watch my Google Display Ads tutorial and my Google Ads tutorial for 2020 if you want to learn more about importing conversions from Google Analytics. So for me, I just create goals in Google Analytics and import them directly into my Google Ads account. Now, once you do that, you're ready to get started with smart display campaigns. So when you come in here to the main screen, I usually start in the campaign screen and I'll click on the plus sign to create a new campaign. Now, when you come here, what you generally want to do is start by using sales or leads as your main goal. So for me, my main goal is leads. If you're driving sales on an e-commerce website, or you're driving sales of a specific product that you are selling by yourself on your website, then you would use that as the goal that's going to make this campaign successful to you. Now, keep in mind, if you do want to take advantage of smart display campaigns and you're not using conversion tracking, you can use the website traffic goal, click on display under campaign type, and one of the options is going to be smart display campaigns, but the one that they give you is standard display campaign when you choose website traffic as your goal. Now, if I come in here and I choose leads and we choose display for our campaign type, it's going to recommend a smart display campaign because advertisers with a campaign goal of leads or sales on average get more conversions using a smart display campaign. So you would come in here, select smart display campaign, put our website in here. So for mine, it's going to be farmhousegoals.com, and we're going to click on continue. Now, before we start building this campaign, what I want to do is go over some of the benefits of smart campaigns and some things to keep in mind. So number one, why use smart display ads? If you're using conversion tracking, they'll help you drive additional conversions, and you can expand your targeting beyond remarketing. So if you want to use remarketing, you're going to create a standard display campaign and then create your remarketing audiences and create ads that are going to be served to those audiences. With smart display ads, Google Ads is going to go out and find people who are not in your remarketing audiences. So people who are going to be the most likely to convert on your website, Google is going to attempt to find them, and it's going to use automated targeting to find those people. And then as you drive conversions, the bidding strategy that you're going to be using are smart bidding strategies like target CPA and target return on ad spend, which are going to help you drive conversions and conversion value. Now, next I want to go over a little bit more about targeting. So again, there's no remarketing, and the way targeting works, so this is a quote directly from Google Ads. Automated targeting uses website visitor, landing page insights, and your search campaign's best performing keywords to automatically target customers across the web. So the more data Google Ads has about your website, the better targeting is going to work. If you have no conversions on your website, you've never ran a search campaign before, and you just created a new landing page, then it's going to take some time to drive some conversions and get some data in order to improve your targeting. So essentially, if we come over here to my landing page, and you can see here, I'm going to be driving people to this landing page. So it's a promo page. I have an April sale going on. I want people to come to this page, see some of the different categories here, shop my website, and take advantage of this offer. If I don't have any data yet, there's no conversion data for Google Ads to go off of, what they're going to do is look at my landing page and try to find people who are going to be the most likely to convert on my website based on the content on my landing page. So you want to keep that in mind as you set up your first smart display campaign. The more data that Google Ads has, the better that targeting is going to be in the very beginning of your campaign. Otherwise, there is going to be a bit of a learning curve as you start to drive more conversions on your website. Now, last but not least is going to be bidding. So I want to go over bidding a little bit. So ultimately, with this type of campaign type, if you're driving leads and sales, you're going to be bidding for conversions or conversion value. So if you're driving sales, you're generally bidding for conversion values. If you're just driving leads, whether it's phone calls, form fills, bookings, or outbound clicks in my case, then you're going to be bidding for conversions, which is going to be a target CPA bid strategy, where you're focusing on conversions at a set cost per action. So essentially, if a conversion is worth $10 for me, then I want to drive conversions at less than $10 every single time. Otherwise, if you're driving sales where you have conversion value, so for example, maybe you have a product on your website for $100, a product on your website for $10, what you want to do is pull in that value so that you can actually focus on conversion value. Because ultimately, it makes more sense to drive less conversions if they're giving you a higher value. So if you're able to pull in that data, that's where you want to use target return on ad spend. The other option is maximize conversions, where you're just focused on driving as many conversions as possible within your budget. I prefer the target CPA bid strategy type, but maximize conversions is another option that you can use. So now we're going to get into building a campaign. So you want to get started, name your campaign and set your location. So location is wherever your customers are. One of the things I generally do is come in here to location options and choose people in or regularly in my targeted locations. For this campaign, I want to target United States and Canada. But what you essentially want to do is just choose a location where you want people to see your ads. Exclude, I just generally keep this as people in my excluded locations. Okay, so next as we scroll down is language targeting. So you want to select the languages that your customers speak here. So for this, I'm going to choose English. Keep scrolling down. Next is going to be bidding. So you're going to see here, what do you want to focus on? Conversions, or if we click on the drop down here, is going to be conversion value. So if you're pulling in revenue, you want to use conversion value. In my case, I'm optimizing for conversions, and I want to set a target cost per action of $7. So I want to try to drive conversions for $7 or less. And you can see once I enter that, it's going to say this campaign will use the target CPA bid strategy to help me get the most conversions at or below my target of $7. I'm going to be paying for clicks. So that means every time someone clicks on my ad, it's going to cost me money. So next we're going to scroll down the budget. So let's just say for this campaign, I want to spend $10 per day. So that means looking at my target CPA of $7, hopefully I can drive a conversion or two per day and increase my budget over time and decrease my target CPA over time. That's ultimately your goal with any types of Google Ads campaign. So we're going to keep coming down. Dynamic ads, you can use a data feed for personalized ads. So this can, again, be very useful for e-commerce websites. You can use a data feed and actually target people based on the products that they're visiting on your website. In this case, I'm not going to be using dynamic ads. So we're going to come down to additional settings. You can use start and end dates. This is one of the main things I like to use here is conversions. So if you're using the include in conversion settings, then all the conversion actions I showed you before in my account, Google Ads is going to optimize for. What I prefer to do is choose conversion actions for my campaign, select a specific conversion action, and I'm going to be using outbound clicks here, and we're going to click on save. So I'm just optimizing for outbound clicks. That's going to be the conversion that I want to drive for this smart display campaign. And when we're talking about target CPA, that's going to be the action that I want people to take on my website is outbound clicks. So you want to make sure you set your conversion here. Otherwise, you can just use the account level include in conversion settings if you want to optimize for every single conversion you've imported into your Google Ads account. Next is going to be content exclusion. So you're going to see here show ads on all content. So one thing you might want to do is exclude some of these sensitive content options. You can exclude some of these content types. It really depends on what your goals are with your brand. So you can opt out of showing ads on content that doesn't fit your brand. So I'm just going to exclude sensitive content and we're going to keep going with our campaign. Next is going to be ad group. So we're just going to do automated targeting. And you're going to see here when you're creating a smart display campaign, this is the quote I showed you earlier. Automated targeting uses website visitor, landing page insights, and your search campaign's best performing keywords to automatically target customers across the web. So you don't actually have to set your targeting at all. Every other aspect of building your campaign in terms of a smart display campaign is really important for success. Besides setting your targeting, you're essentially giving the keys to Google to say, go out and find customers across the Google display network who are going to be the most likely to convert on my website. Okay, we'll keep scrolling down. Now, the next other important thing that you need to do is create responsive display ads. And I would say the best practice here is just create one ad group. You can set your ad group any name you want, and what you can do is use multiple responsive display ads in that ad group just to see what's going to perform the best for you. So when you're creating a responsive display ad, the main benefit of these types of display advertisements is you can add multiple images, multiple logos, you can add videos, you can add up to 5 headlines, which you want to use. Take advantage of every single headline you can add. You can add up to 5 description lines. So again, you want to take advantage of all of these different description lines. Set your business name. Under more options, you can use a call to action. And you can also set custom colors to make sure the color matches your brand on the advertisements that you're building. As you build your advertisements over here, you're going to start to see a preview right in this area on websites and apps, and you can look at different key ad formats, so image ads, native ads, and text ads. So you can also set mobile and desktop just to make sure your advertisement looks good on all these different placements across the Google Display Network. Now, if we look over here on the right-hand side, the other thing you're going to be able to see here is based on my targeting settings, a daily budget of $10 and a target CPA of $7. So this is cut off a little bit, but you can see weekly estimates is going to be between 470 clicks and 1.6 thousand clicks. So I'm going to be able to drive a lot of clicks for a small cost. So I like to look at my weekly estimates just to have some type of forecast of the data that I can expect as I run my campaign. So next what we're going to do is create our responsive display ad, and we'll come over here and just start at the top with our final URL. So the other thing you're going to see here is ad strength. So once your ad is strong enough, you've added enough headlines, description lines, and images, you're going to have a complete here. So you want to make sure you have that complete here before you launch your advertisement. So first you want to start with your final URL. This is going to be our landing page where we're sending traffic. So we're going to enter that here and final URL. Images and logos. So you need at least one square image and one landscape image. And then you want to use at least one logo, but you generally want to use more than that. So you can choose up to 15 images and 5 logos. You should take advantage of every single image and every single logo you can use. It's only going to help ad performance. So you can start by scanning your website for images and logos. And if we click here, you can see the image requirements. The minimum required for a landscape image is 600 by 314 pixels. And then for a square, the minimum required is 300 by 300. But what's recommended is at least one 1200 by 628 and at least one 1200 by 1200. I would recommend using as many as possible. Logo, so you have a landscape 4x1 logo, minimum required size of 512 by 128, and then you have a square logo, minimum required size of 128 by 128. So you can start by uploading images if you don't have images that you can scan from your website. If you start to use different images, you can just come over here to recently used, and anything you've uploaded will show up here. So the dimensions don't have to be perfect. For example, this one's 1500 by 785. So if we click here on use image, I can use this as a image, as a 1.91 by 1, and you can use it as a square. So you can select 2 different ratios, so we can move this around if we want. And you can see this fits perfectly for a landscape, so we're going to select 2 ratios. So now when we come over to your assets, you're going to see we have 2 of our 15 images selected, 1 landscape, 1 square. So we're going to come back over here again to recently used and add a couple more images here. So we'll come down here and we'll use this image. So we're going to do the 1.91 by 1, and we're also going to use a square. We'll come over here to the left-hand side. So we have some bedding, some furniture, a lamp in here. So we'll select 2 ratios again. We're going to use this one as well. So again, both of the different ratios that we can use, and we'll use this one here. Maybe for this one, we'll just use square. It looks the best as a square image. So we'll select 1 ratio. Next, we're going to choose our logos. So you want to set your logo. This is an 800 by 200 dimension. So we can use it as our 4x1 logo, select 1 ratio. And next what we can do is choose this one as our other logo. So when you click on it up here at the top, you're going to see use as image or use as logo. So we want to make sure we're using this as a logo, and it's going to be our 1x1 logo here. So we can select this 1 ratio. So now when we come over to your assets, you can see we have 2 different logos. So I usually just use 2 out of the 5 logos, but you can use logos with different colors and different styles, different designs if you want to. We have 7 out of 15 images. So we're going to come back to recently used. We'll set a few more images here. So we'll take this one right here. We'll use it as a square image, select 1 ratio, keep coming down. We'll look at a few more. So we'll take this one, use both images. So we'll come over here to the left, select 2 ratios. So that's good to get started. We have 10 out of 15 images, 2 out of 5 logos. We'll click on save. So next you can add videos to your advertisements. So if you click on videos, all you need to do is upload a video to YouTube and then take that YouTube URL and enter it directly here. So once you enter that URL, it's going to show up just like these do right here. So these are different ones that I've entered. So let's just say I want to choose this as my video. We'll click on save. So now I have a video to my advertisement. So you can see as you start going through some of these different previews, the video will be a different type of advertisement here that plays a video as people are scrolling across the Google Display Network on their favorite websites. And you can see this might be what it looks like. So you have a little video here. Obviously, it wouldn't fit this type of advertisement at all, but you can use videos if you have a good video that's also going to enhance your advertisement. In this case, I don't, so I'm going to remove this here. Just come in here, select the X. We have no video assets. We'll click on save. So we have our image assets here. Next, you want to add up to 5 headlines. You get 30 characters for each headline. You get a long headline here, so you get 90 characters for every long headline, but you only can select one long headline. And then you get 5 description lines, and that you get 90 characters with as well. Business name, call to action, and custom colors. So I'm going to enter all that information now. Okay, so we've added our headlines. We have 5 different headlines here. Essentially, I'm just going to be showing my promotion, my April sale, 10% off and free shipping. That's what I really want to highlight in my advertisement. So the images are going to show people different types of farmhouse styles, and then the text is going to talk to people about the sale. So if we come down here, you can see I have 5 different headlines here, mostly pretty similar. Come down, we have a long headline. So usually what I'll do with the long headline is no punctuation, and then the description lines is where I'll use some exclamation points and more punctuation than I use in the long headline, and I never use punctuation in the headline. So if we keep scrolling down here, we have our descriptions. So you want to make sure you fill out all 5 descriptions. Enter your business name, keep coming down. We have our call to action text. So mine is just going to be shop now. And then you have custom colors. So I have a main color, so this is my main brand color, and then an accent color as well. So if we come to the top, we can look at some of these different advertisements, and you can see these ads look pretty good now, so we can scroll through here and look at some of the different options. So these are ads that would look good across the display network. So that's essentially what you want to do. And once you create your advertisement, you can add it to the ad group. So you have one responsive display ad here. One of the things I like to do is just duplicate this advertisement, update it with different images, and then I might even duplicate it again and update it with different ad copy. In this case, I'm just going to create this one advertisement, and that's the last step we need to do. So all we need to do next is click on Create Campaign, and that's going to launch our Smart Display campaign. Okay, you can see congratulations, your campaign is ready. So if we go to Continue to Campaign, you can see we have our Smart Display campaign here. So essentially what you want to do when you're running campaigns is if you want to reach people beyond your remarketing audiences, you can use a Smart Display campaign, and then you want to run a completely separate remarketing campaign. So you can see I have my remarketing campaign separate. So this allows you to set a different budget for remarketing. And then for people who haven't visited your website yet, you can use a Smart Display campaign, and Google Ads will go out and find people who are going to be the most likely to convert on your website. So that's Smart Display campaigns. Once you start getting some data in here, you can come in and you can look at some of the different placements where your ads are running, and you can remove some of these different placements as you go. But you really don't have to do too much in terms of targeting when it comes to optimization. So what you want to do is just come to your ads and extensions and just make sure you're running multiple responsive display ads, use different images, maybe try an ad with a video, and you can see what's going to perform the best for you over time. So if you have any questions about this, please leave them in the comment section. Thanks for watching my video today, and make sure you subscribe to the Surfside PPC YouTube channel.